Well, I
hear a notification.
Sound effects and everything. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amazing Scale Modelers across the pond Hangout. I'm your host, Scratch. I'm just going to change my name just to Jack. Let's go delete. I don't want to go scratching anymore. Yeah, I don't want to go scratching anymore. That's kind of silly now. Anyway, Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus and Facebook community of scale modelers reaching across all scale modeling genres and mediums to encourage friendships from around the world. And today we hope you will find it to be an important source of information about the hobby, hear about something new, and see firsthand the scale modeling experience. Joining me today are the usual suspects to help me kill time and doing these other things. And if you want to join us, obviously, if you're watching live, you're watching on YouTube, so live chat is open. Say hello. So bring your questions, comments. All are welcome today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and suggest. I think we got an uptick of about 2 subscribers in the past 2 weeks.
And those are 2 of the happiest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah. 2 people that are going to spend time with us and time they'll never get back ever again. So I am under pressure. I want to to get started. I want to start with a screen share, and this has something to do with the modeling lifestyle, because if there is something outside, outdoors.
Yes.
I don't think Lou can really relate to this because he's down south and his weather improves faster and better than it does here in the Northeast. This was this morning's forecast. Yesterday it was an 83-degree Fahrenheit day and windy, and this is why I'm going crazy. I'm trying to get together a stand for my 72 scale Millennium Falcon, and I need to paint it outside from a rattle can, because I can't do it any other way. You can't do it when it's rainy and cold. Well, guess what? If I don't do it today, it ain't getting done until another 2 weeks. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that as to why I'm all cranky and why I wasn't around 2 weeks ago for the Sunday Hangout. And, just not feeling that way because of weather. And, I had slept with the window open last night, and I got to say I haven't slept this good in months. So if I seem a little uncontainable, that's because I'm filled with vim and vigor. I feel like a 21-year-old, but I look like a 54-year-old. So anyway.
I feel like a 21-year-old. Nowhere I can get one.
Well, thank you for doing this, right, Jack?
So anyway, on our community, we do have these builds. Of course, I have not made any announcements. Somebody reminded me, like, oh, shoot, I haven't done the announcements since January. At least there's a lot of people that do not watch this Hangout. And, well, you know what? Maybe we'll just leave them out of it. I don't know. I'll make an announcement. But I'll just announce it here again, reiterating every time, every show, that we do have community builds, and it's naval nautical, something that floats on water or not in the air. It has to be on liquid. It could be a river boat. I'm doing a really bad kit of imitation of the aircraft carrier, the Hornet, and stuff like that. And if it seems to be, I mean, even amphibious airplanes would work too. Amphibious vehicles, land vehicles, that would be something that you armor folks would like to get into, or builders, something, airplanes that float on water when they land. I think that would work too. So, I mean, the rule is that it has to float on water at some point if it were real. And the other build would be a wooden build. That's where scale modeling began in the old UK back in the day, with wood mostly. I don't think they had plastic about 150 years ago. So scale modeling was really done with balsa and other kinds of woods. So getting back to that kind of a basic, and do a wood build. There's already been a couple of people in the community that have done that, particularly on Facebook. And also, we have the real space. And tomorrow on Sunday, we're going to discuss at length a little history on real space, spacecraft, things that launch and leave the atmosphere of the Earth and go exploring the universe and other planets. And not sci-fi. We're not talking Star Trek, kids. We're talking about NASA. Okay,
we're talking Apollo missions. We're talking space stuff.
SpaceX, even SpaceX designs that haven't flown yet, that will be welcome too, of course. So those are the things we're going to talk about tomorrow is real space and the kind of kits that are available out there. I'll do some research today and tomorrow and see as to what's really out there on Evil Bay and go from there. So really, it's been a very interesting couple of weeks on the communities, very interesting. And I think some members are going off and doing things that I suspect they don't normally do. They're making builds that they normally wouldn't do. I've had one guy said, I haven't built an airplane in a long time. I'm buying 5 kits. I'm going to build them all. Like you said, he haven't built kits maybe in 40 years. 40 years, imagine. And he's going to head into some airplanes, some aviation. And also, some people who haven't done boats and nauticals are considering it too. I've seen some things on Facebook alluding to that. So, yeah, that's challenging you. That's making the hobby interesting and making your builds interesting to others and see how your skills pan out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking with all these suspects I got here to help me murder time. And I'm going to roll the dice. And, of course, we have to start with Heath first, but I'll roll the dice after him. How you doing, Heath?
Hello. How are we all tonight? Me, I'm very, very well.
Oh, fine.
Very good.
Been busy as usual. I've got 3 builds going on at the moment. 3. Count them 3. There's one I'm going to show you tonight because that's basically what I've been working on just today, actually. And the other 2 are in there, and they're in no shape to be seen. They're not quite ready to be shown yet. But without further ado, I started building my Ebaro McLaren MP430 Honda. After about nearly 2 years, I've actually started to build it. And here's the body, all ready for priming. There are a few seams on this. If you can see there, and just about there, there's a seam. What I use for this is liquid primer. Liquid primer is what I used for this. And now I've just got to get some 600 grit wet dry sandpaper, sand it back, and then she'll be ready for priming.
Nice.
But this is an interest. I'm hoping to make this one of my best builds because, wait for it, I'm cracking open the airbrush. I've got to do some airbrushing.
Yeah, you got to do some airbrushing, mister.
I've got to do some airbrushing, and I've got airbrush paints and stuff like that. So I'm hoping this will turn out to be a very nice build. And yes, I haven't been around for the last 2 weeks because I've been busy doing a IT course. I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to use some of my IT. Excuse me. Drinking the Red Bull again tonight.
And then fast asleep in an hour.
Probably not. I've still got some stuff to do. I've got a late night tonight. I've got to catch up.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's why I got this. Keep me going. So yeah, but it's been a very busy week, 2 weeks, and that's just one. The other one has been primed. It's been given its body wash. It's my prototype Jaguar that I've been building also, and also did some work on my Excelsior. Just basically sanded it, washed the parts, ready to go for to start putting together and starting to paint. That's the original pop Excelsior, not the new pop, not the repop. The repop Excelsior, that comes after I finish my 3 kits that I got. kind of got that out there. Yeah, it's been busy. I've been very busy. So yeah. Anyway, that's me. I'm all done.
You've been very busy. Okay. That's how that goes.
Tired, sagged out.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've all been busy, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Let's take a roll of dice and do symmetrical on my Google left to rights and all that stuff. So symmetrically, the next one up is actually Lou. And Lou, I seen your video of the pilot and your shelf and you're ruminating about not having any brothers and only sisters.
I do have an older brother, but he is many years older and he's self-sufficient and can do things by himself. He actually lives up in Pittsburgh, Jack.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. He and his family have been up there for years.
And I have I made reservations to the hotel for Wonderfest this past week. So we're going to be there. We're going to be there Thursday. And we're driving up Thursday. Friday, we're probably gonna, maybe go to the zoo or something, the Louisville Zoo.
Right.
And then of course, be back by dinner time and the meet and greet. So that's what our plans are for Friday.
Well, yay-hoo, so, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. When you getting up there?
Thursday afternoon.
Oh yeah, same with us.
Yeah,
okay, very good.
Yeah.
How long is your drive?
Well, I break it up. I leave here Wednesday night, and I spend the Wednesday night with friends over above Charlotte, and then it's about 8 hours from there up to Louisville on Thursday.
Oh, wow! For us, it's 6.
I don't take all. I mean, I take all day to do it. I don't try to rush anything.
Right, hey, Lou, where is Wonderfest this year?
Louisville, Kentucky, same place as always.
I thought it was New Jersey.
No, there's a Fantastic Fest or some other fest that they have. Jersey, they have a Jersey Fest.
Jersey Fest.
Yeah. Jersey Fest. That's in August.
Everybody has to fest, but Wonderfest had it first. It was the first. Well, Jack, I finished those 2 pilot projects. I got the shelves up, so I'm digging through the stash, going, what do I want to build next? And you're not going to believe this. I am building a car. It's the Amtronic. People say it's not a car. I say, screw you. It comes with tires. It's a car.
I'm so excited.
I'm building a car. Wait, if you think that's not enough, I am also building.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute.
Real space.
Yes! I want that too. I love it.
Real space, my friends.
That's going to be awesome. That is going to be.
Is when it's done, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. I mean, it's tall and skinny.
Yeah. You know what? I've seen someone build a
corner when I'm done.
Right. I seen someone do a Titan with a Gemini capsule on top of it. They hung it on the wall next to their window.
Yeah.
I think that's what it looked like in a picture. They hung it on the wall. It looked awesome. That's actually a good space saver, right? Exactly.
That was the 24 scale kit too.
No, this is the 172nd.
That's the 172nd.
The Ravenna.
It's about 5 foot tall. It's about 5 foot when it's done, but it's only about that big around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No floor space.
Though, if it has the cradle to lay it on its side. Because I'm thinking that's how I want to do it, above a window or something.
Yeah.
That's how it is in Huntsville, Alabama. It's laid on its side in parts. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's how I may want to do it.
At Kennedy,
well, I got a better idea. Why don't you get 2 of those kits and do one standing and one lying down?
Well, if I had 2 of those kits, I would. No, I'm sorry. That's the shuttle model. I'm thinking I would use those kits and make a Daedalus out of it, but that's a shuttle model.
My 3D printer is going to be on it today, and I'll get you a 3D kit. When I get them printed, and and you tell me what I need to say. I'm going to be learning stuff this year a lot, and I'm going to use you as an instructor on kits.
Oh,
so
go ahead.
So I'll be the guinea pig.
So
yes, I thought I would. So this is my real space automotive. I don't know whether the AMT is amphibious or not, but it's out of the comfort zone, and I don't know. I could throw some wood at it and make it all those builds at the same time.
Do they
This man is a
model
horse.
as a launch gantry for your Saturn V? That would.
What's that, Bob?
So you make a paper model of the launch gantry for that Saturn V.
Yeah, there's
Well,
one.
that's a wood. That counts as a wood building.
Yep, that would be wood.
It's paper. Paper's wood.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Paper's wood.
Yes.
We'll ask the professional. Jim, is paper wood?
Technically,
Yes.
well, from the modeling aspect, it's stretching a point, but technically it is wood. But it's
That's like saying which come first, the chicken or the
stretching a point.
You use almost glue on it.
Actually, we're
The
stretching
wood
the
came
fibers.
first. Paper came second. So
Actually, the first paper was out of papyrus, and it wasn't really a tree anyway. It was a reed.
it was a grass. Yeah, it was a grass. All right. So oh gosh, I'm so excited. Boy, you're giving me a heart attack with that real space build because I want that kit too. I really, because when I was a kid, Revell did make something like that, and I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. But I do have a story to share about that. Not that particular kit, because the one we had was Revell. And I was about 4 or 5 years old, and there's a big story behind that that I'm going to tell tomorrow. But when you showed that, that's like, yeah, I want one of those too. And those are like $200 kits.
I know they're also people have been picking them apart that they're not 100% accurate, but I'm not going to sweat it.
Well, it was a Chinese company that developed it and put it out there, isn't it? Dragon?
Yeah, Dragon.
Yep.
They're only
I've actually seen someone actually stand that up, like launching. They've actually did that model, the model that you've got, Lou, and they've actually got it launching, and it looks outrageous. It looks brilliant.
Well, the secret will be, I guess, to put a big old honking fire extinguisher in the bottom of it. So you can remotely just start the flumes of smoke coming out of the bottom.
Or you can scratch build the tower out of toothpicks or something.
That's it. That's what I need to do.
What you do is you get one of those smoke generators you can get for your little fountains in the
right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. There's no lighting, minimal decaling. Should go together pretty quick. And since the weather's so beautiful down here, Jack, that I can just sit on the back deck and just paint my day away.
Oh, he's blowing a raspberry at the Texan. That's not a good idea.
But I'm going to paint it all with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint the entire model with this brush.
Not a good idea.
But I love the tagline on this kit because it says the Amtronic visitor from the 21st century.
Yeah, right.
Hang on a minute. I haven't seen a car like that before.
It's a concept.
That's what they thought back in the 60s.
Yeah, I love these. The instructions are straight out of Space 1999.
Yeah.
That artistic font, it must mean something.
That will be fun, though. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have fun with that. I may light up the the headlights and the dash and that kind of stuff.
But you know where that font come from, don't you?
I've seen it around forever.
It was a font that at the time they could allow computers to read.
That's it. I knew it was an old IBM font, but
yeah. If you look at some of your old checks, you'll see it's printed.
Yeah, yeah. My checks still have that. Are the numbers at least?
Numbers are in that font. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that is
Does that
one
just say
weird
something about the age of your checkbook?
There's another thing about your video that was actually kind of amazed at, and that was you just built that room, that add-on. Just it's not even a year old, then it almost seems like in that video you ran out of space.
It's a year and a half. It's a year and a half.
Oh, has it been a year and a half? Oh,
yeah, it'll be 2 years this fall. But yeah, it's going up quickly because I put up those posters knowing that those would be replaced with models someday. But now I'm in love with the posters, and I don't want to take the posters down.
Oh, well,
I just put those up with a bunch of white walls.
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit that the pilot from Farscape
came out pretty good.
Yeah, the paint job you did is really good. I got to admit that was like amazing stuff.
He just earned himself a trip to Kentucky, so you'll see him in next month or so.
Oh, excellent. That'll be a lot of fun to see in person. I'm not going to bring anything other than a fistful of dollars to buy stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll bring a camera to probably take stills. I'm not ready to do video like that because my video camera is run on a battery and it only runs for like 15 minutes and needs recharge.
Right. Well, to tell you the truth,
use your phone, Jack.
Use your phone, Jack. He doesn't have a phone jack. Now he's frozen. Now he wasn't frozen.
Modern day phones, really good cameras on them. So
yeah, I mean, you can get everything you need still pick with a still camera, especially in the display room, unless it's something that's got a blinking light or something that you want to capture with video. But other than that, still pictures are just as good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was,
and they'll give you a better quality picture.
Oh, we got 2 Jack now.
2 Jacks.
Stereo Jack.
I got a pair of Jacks.
That was weird.
Jack and his twin.
I got a pair of Jacks. Pair of Jacks, a king and a queen.
I got 2 Jacks and a queen.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Anyway, because it was trying to load a picture, a page, and it says either wait or exit. When I pushed exit finally, it just kind of like gave up the ghost. Anyway, is that it there, Lou?
Don't you think that's enough?
Oh, that's true. How you doing, Bob?
We're here.
We're here. Yeah, you're complaining about the weather too, ain't you?
Yeah, it's raining today and it's gonna snow tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna snow on Monday.
Welcome to my world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to show.
Yeah, what's going on your workbench in this temperamental weather forecast?
Well, I'm taking a lot of perfectly good model parts.
Yeah.
And destroying them so that I can put photo etch parts on top of them. So.
Bob, what do you use to glue your edge down?
Well, most of these are, unfortunately, self-adhesive.
Oh, okay.
I'll use CA most of the time, but I have used, my jar finally gave up the ghost, a jar of Future that I let evaporate down into a sticky goo.
Oh, interesting.
I used it for a long time.
When you use CA, do you use the real thin, runny stuff or the thicker stuff?
I've got yes. I got like what is it? The Loctite Professional Liquid.
Right.
I've got Zappa Gap Medium. I got this one here. I got Insecure. This one is the medium gap filling. I got the thick gel stuff. It depends on what I'm trying to do with it at the time. You use the gel stuff or the thicker when you want a little work time. And then I use the thinner stuff when you want it right away.
Right.
Or you can use the spray Insecure, but I tend to burn myself more with that than anything else. You never know. You always got that drop on your finger somewhere you didn't know about. You spray
Do
that
you ever use the microcrystal clear?
Do the photo? You could. I mean, depends on what like on this set here. It has the I don't know if the show. You have to like build the seat and everything.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of structural photo etch to it. And the crystal clear or like canopy glue, I don't think it'll really be strong enough over time.
Uh-huh.
But you could do both. You use the CA to get it together real quick, and then use like the canopy glue because it stays flexible.
Right.
For strength, because super glue can be brittle and it doesn't like shear force.
Sometimes you need to have the strength because the photo etch wants to spring back flat. Right. If you're trying to put it over an arc or something, and you want to have that CA to hold it so it'll hold the shape.
I try to those around curve piece. I try to round over
right, but I can never. Sometimes it just wants, no matter what I want to do, it just wants to sprung and just go back into flat.
If you want to, do you know what the easiest way to shape that? If you're trying to do it round, do it on a soft surface like a small mouse pad. If you roll it on a mouse pad, you'll get a more permanent curve and a better curve on it.
Because it can flex on the bottom.
Yeah.
I've tried that annealing mess, and I've never had real good luck with that.
Yeah.
I generally don't anneal my parts well. These are all pre-finished, so you can't really do that anyway.
Yeah. Well, they've done so much work for you. You can't.
Yeah, they're all done. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Is destroying perfectly good parts to make them look a little better. And that's really all I have, other than I'd like to share with everybody that there's a muscular dystrophy group build that started this week.
Cool.
An awareness group build, and it's being hosted by Saltwater Model. I think it's going to back up a page. It's Saltwater Custom Models. Scott over there, and Saltwater Scale Models. That's what it is. And the muscle car group build, and it runs through the end of the summer. And it's just kind of like the cancer awareness thing we do in the wintertime. It's to raise awareness for muscular dystrophy. And it shows muscle cars because muscular dystrophy is a disease that affects the muscles.
The muscle connection.
Yeah. Right.
So. Yeah. Yeah, my wife had two brothers.
So that's all I have. I wanted to share that, and yeah, I haven't done a whole lot other than take this box of used to be most of my tools, and they're now in like 4 different silverware trays.
Organization.
Good thing.
Organizing things. All the tape is in one slot, and all the knives are in one slot, and all the blades are in one spot. I figure that'll last about 6 days. That's why I haven't thrown the box away yet, because probably I'll end up back in the box.
Are you surprised at the amount of tools you didn't think you had?
I was surprised at the tools that I forgot I had.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, I was going to go out and buy another one of those.
When did I buy that set of micro drill bits?
Yeah.
But I really need to have 15 number 80s. Yes, I did, because I bought them. But yeah, that's all I've got. I've been working and little unsettling things going on in my life. I haven't done a whole lot lately. So, with the passing of my nephew a couple weeks ago, that kind of took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah,
I'm just now getting back to.
That's completely understandable.
Yeah, to be gone at 23 years old is a tough thing to to deal with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's all I got. So,
all right, Bob. Thank you so much
welcome.
for that. I'm trying to do a screen share here. Kind of break up the, and it's not what I want is not coming up. Let's see. Does this help? Here it is. On the Facebook community, our community cover is this actor.
Oh.
Done by Bob Manio, Manio. He just posted a engine block and all wired up. It looks really cool. Of a 40 some vehicle from the 40s. It's a gas or a 41 pickup. Willie's 41 pickup update. So he's got some interesting things going on in the community. And this has just been such a neat thing. If you see the series of photos that he has some engine shots, some interior shots, an impeccable build. Very, very nice. And it looks almost it was done with an effortless ease, quite frankly.
That's like a boom car.
It's probably a street racing car.
I'm just looking at the back seat. To me, it looks like it's a boom car.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, it probably is. I mean, those are the street cars that they drag race and Fast and Furious stuff. Yes, to me, it seems like a Fast and Furious type of car. Yeah, I think it is a boom car. To answer your question. And then in the Google Plus community, we have Aussie Trekkie. What is his name?
Heath knows him.
Heath knows him.
I see.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, he's my best friend.
And his name?
Best friend. He lives in Mildura, and his name is Scott. I've known him since I was 18 years old. We've been friends for a long time. We've built models together and everything. And I just said when I saw this that's one of the he outdone himself. He outdone himself on this.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. That looks like he could climb in it and drive away.
And I talked to him just the other day. That only took him 2 weeks to build. 2 weeks to build. He knows how to build a truck without the instructions. Let me put it that way.
Nice. And yeah, he did say in his description that it didn't take him long at all to put this together. And the paint job is absolutely
he's been building trucks.
And if you look at the tank, tank 2 even has dirt grease and weathering on it. It's just an amazing build. So real. I mean, at first glance, you might think it is.
His dad used to be a truck driver for IPAC, which is
really?
Which is a delivery company over here, and he's built one of them trucks too. I think he said to me he's still got the IPAC truck. I'll have to see if you can put one of them up because, he's built trucks since I knew him. I've known him for a long time, long time. We've basically grew up together. He's my best mate.
So those are the Scott Aussie Trekkie. He does a lot. He's a Trek fan, Star Trek fan, but he does build awful lot of other stuff too. I like his variety that he builds. And he's actually
I can tell you right now, he's done an original Enterprise, built it, lit it, everything. He's done a Reliant. He's done an Enterprise C. He's done two. He's done one refit 350. He's doing a second one, but the second one he's doing now this is quite an undertaking. He told me this himself. He's putting the reef. He's building up the 350 scale dry dock from the motion picture, and he's going to put the Enterprise in the dry dock, and he's actually going to make it look like how it is when you first see the Enterprise in the motion picture.
Yeah, he built 2 battleships, I think, last year too.
He built the
Missouri. Bismarck.
He built the Missouri. He's still building the Bismarck. He's still working. Both of these ships at 200 scale.
Yeah.
Missouri's a 200 scale, and the Bismarck's a 200 scale. And I think he's also building the Ark Royal. He's also building a U-boat. I don't know if he's finished that one yet, but he was building a U-boat. He built the Bismarck. He's building the Missouri. And it's just, this guy, and he works too, so he can afford these kits. So he's responsible for me building cars and starships. So I blame him for my cars and my starships. So, but no, he's a great guy. As I said, we've known each other for a long time. I'm in constant contact with him. So he's a great guy. He should get. He doesn't do Hangouts that much though. He does Hangouts, but he did it with old, you know who.
Cool.
Stoneface.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Heath, telling us his name, because I just kind of feel like I need to know his name when I address him on making a comment instead of calling Aussie Trekkie. That's just, I don't know. Scott sounds so much better, and I hope I can remember that. I'm on this binge right now, remembering names at work, particularly because I became union steward some months ago. I gotta learn faces and names now, and I'm not really good at it, so I gotta learn how to do it. So at least I'll know his name. Anyway, moving forward, I'm going to surprise this guy. I mean, he's always been very patient and always been last, but this time we're going to stick him right in the middle, and we're going to surround him time-wise with other people. So we're going to talk to him. So how you doing there, Randall?
Not too bad, Jack. I'm actually quite relieved not to be last this time, because it usually puts a lot of pressure on.
I don't know. You get to see how everybody else bombs, and you can actually come out looking better.
Yeah, what have I been doing? Well, at the minute, I'm still working on my U-boat. I have the deck painted, sides painted, and in process of masking off for the underside color. And boy, does that take a lot of masking tape. And if I can, it's kind of hard to maneuver this around here without hitting something. Like I nearly clobbered its own conning tower there. Yeah, that's that. Just using aerosol spray cans to do the main painting, but I'll be weathering the heck out of it when the time comes. Doing that as part of a buddy build with a friend of mine who's building a Coastal Command Liberator. And he's building the Liberator, and I'm building one of its victims. So maybe I should just model a big hole in the side of it, where the depth is. That's the naughty nautical build. And for the real space, I'm still working away on the Apollo Soyuz test project.
Nice. Yep.
The solar panels were a bit plain on the backside, so I added these struts to it, just with like square section plastic rod. And on the other side, first stage of the solar panels, which is, it's supposed to be metallic black, but there's not much metallicity in it. But I'll be going over that with a light coat of clear blue, and then scoring in the individual solar cells, at least in theory. They're only temporarily attached on this thing because it would be kind of hard to work with a ruler with the Soyuz cap in the way. Some fine painting is required around various bits and pieces. Yeah.
If you thought of it, I was just thinking about an idea of doing the panels on that. If you were to make like a mask of tape in a square pattern and do it alternating on the screen, paint it with your clear blue, then pull them off, move your mask over to where you painted, and then paint, and that might give you your effect without scribing it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, if it was a bigger scale, maybe, but in 72 scale, the individual solar cell chips are like. I don't know. Best I can show you actually is this picture I downloaded of the real thing.
Yeah, they're very
Hey, Randall.
Yeah.
What if you took you painted those panels the grid color, that brownish color there, and then laid a piece of screen over them and painted the blue through the screen?
Yeah, that would work too.
Yep, that would do it. Be a lot quicker. You just need to find a screen the right size.
Well, you can go to your home improvement places, and they have like screen patches for screen doors.
Yeah,
and they're about 2 square inches, something like that. And you can
what would be a bigger one is the fiber patch used for for
drywall.
Drywall.
Yeah, you can get those, and sometimes they'll have
little square.
That's
a little square.
Different sizes of openings.
Yeah, the fiber patch for drywall probably would be easier to find over here because we don't have door screens as such.
You don't have screens in your windows and doors.
No, our bugs know to stay outside. You know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
our insects are well mannered.
I thought you were going to say your weather was just so crappy you wanted to keep it outside anyway.
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah.
We love our weather. We want it to come into the house.
Yeah, exactly.
But that fiberglass patching for drywall would work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of good ideas actually. Yeah, probably be quicker and a more even spacing.
It'd be worth trying out on something just to see, I think.
Yeah. Yep. I'll give that a go and a bit of spare plastic.
Another source would be the rubber matting you use for your shelvings, for your your kitchen cabinets. That comes in that grid pattern also. You can get a big sheet of that for like $1.
Oh, they don't have kitchen cabinets over in England.
Cabinets, I don't know whether we have.
They believe I'm putting all their dishes out on the counter and leaving them there.
They don't have cabinetry. They have cupboards. Cabinetry.
Well, our main auto store or auto parts store, Halfords, would have the aluminium mesh. For building a car body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that like aluminum
fiberglass buildup? Yeah.
That might do it.
Hey, Jack, I wonder if that's like
you could find. And I was even thinking of like first aid gauze that could possibly work.
Say, Jack.
Something that's got a bit of rigidity because if I
look at what Jamie's got.
First aid. What's this?
Yes.
Pull it back, Jamie, so we can see. This looks like a.
Oh, that's
is
that like patching material? Yeah.
Yeah, this is very fine squares on it.
Mm-hmm.
You could use something like this. This would do the job perfect.
That's for car body repairs, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it was actually used on the USS Enterprise.
Right.
But it's ideal for what you need, sort of what you're going to do for that model.
Where did you get it, Jamie?
Oh, just off eBay. It's just very, very fine mesh. If you want a piece, Randall, I'll send you a piece.
Yeah, all I need is about like 3 inches square would do it.
Just send me your address and I'll post you some more.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. Solved.
Sorted.
Sorted, mate.
Yeah, it's sorted.
Just to chuck an alternative in there, we've got a plastic. It's like a big strainer for.
Don't you strain your skitty, your pasta strainers?
Well, it's for straining anything really. It's quite a fine nylon mesh. If you were to get a hold one of those and cut it out, that might do the job.
Be a bit big that.
You don't want anything that stretches though.
No, the one I'm thinking about, Jamie, is quite fine. It's almost just pinpricks in it, you know.
Oh yeah. I'm not thinking another one you're on about.
I'd run down and get it.
Well, gee, Randall, you got a lot of ideas now.
Yep.
Yeah, where are you at? Opened up that can.
Yeah, I just thought the screen door thing was pretty funny because, that's pretty funny. I'm just trying to picture the typical working class front door, back door in the UK. I just think that would be a funny sight to see. I just think that would be, Anyway, how differently people work. So you got the Soyuz. You know what? That's I'm actually quite envious. That's actually a very good real space build. The Apollo Soyuz experiment mission.
Also,
and it's
drilled out the windows of the capsule, or the little capsule. Yeah, this is the same capsule you have at the top end of your Saturn V, Lou.
Ah.
See, exactly. It's essentially the same kit.
Okay.
Only they just
now you've got to put an interior in there and light it.
No,
you've done that.
I decided to drill the windows out after I had cemented.
I don't think.
Place.
I was going to say I don't think there was a window in the heat shield.
Rando, you could there's some 1 in 350 figures in there too.
350 scale figures would be a bit small for this, Jamie. It's 72 scale.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I could put take the 72 Chewbacca and Han out of the Falcon.
If they're 1/350 scale, we could be doing a crossover with the Land of the Giants.
Yeah.
At least they'd fit through those windows.
Yes.
That's in case Buzz Aldrin brought his action figures.
Is that it there, Randall?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yep.
Oh, very cool. I'm looking forward to the nautical build too. I know that's very much up your alley because you've done a few boats. Particularly the lifeboat is the one that got me thinking about doing a nautical build. And you did that lifeboat for some, I don't know, fraternity near where you live. And you spent so much time and effort in that. I just thought that was an amazing build.
And I still have it. They still haven't collected it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
You know, which is fine, but there you go.
I'd rather have your dust collecting than their dust collecting. So, because that way you can enjoy it and maybe pull it out from the mothballs every now and again and show it off, because that's a great build.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Anyway, so let's see who's eeny, meeny, miny. Let's go to Jim. How you doing, Jim?
I'm not doing too bad there, Jack. I've got a lot done, but I'd have done some work. I got.
We should be rocking from side to side, like
mounted on the. It's mount now.
Yeah.
So now I can start on working on. Well, I should paint it, then start working on the lighting. But I got that, and let's just do over here. Change this to there. There.
Oh, wow.
Oop.
Now I'm getting vertigo.
Oh, we come back.
This is tense.
Yeah, the suspense is killing me.
Okay. So what we got
It works
here?
so well in rehearsal.
Well, I'm just going to show what I got done.
You guys rehearsed for this?
Yes, actually.
Okay, I'm just using the manual controller right now because it's easier to maneuver. But the mechanism's hooked up, so I can rotate it.
Ooh. Ooh.
Very nice.
Jim, you're turning me on.
Swift.
Down, boy.
That is really cool.
So that part's work. The one thing I had to do is I had to print a arm extender for this because this control arm was not big enough. It wasn't a long enough throw. So I had to print an extender on it to give more throw for the servo arm. Because it was too short, it was less than the throw on the post. So I had to be pretty well the same throw or a little bit more. So I found this on Thingiverse, the extender, and then I just printed it off and glued it onto the arm. So that allowed it to got the push rods is built and set up for its length. And with proper linkage, so that's basically where I'm at with this thing. Now, maybe this
Where's
week
the
I'll get
Arduino shield? Where's the Arduino shield?
the Arduino board's here.
Oh, okay.
I haven't hooked. I'm using the manual board because it's easier to work with for what I'm doing right now. It's easier to control it with the manual board.
I see.
Because I was trying to adjust how my throws were. With the Arduino, it's fixed points. With the manual board, I got the full swing of the servo. So that way I can control what it's how far its swing is. It also gives me the measurements for my angles that I need for setting the exact settings for the Arduino. But it's just easier to use the manual one for this stuff, what I'm doing right now.
Oh, that's exciting. Exciting. You've been waiting a long time to get to this point.
Yeah. That thing. And I know one tool, I think I've mentioned before, but I find is essential for putting these posts in, is a step drill.
They're pretty.
A step drill is just the ideal tool for putting in those tubes and that into your model. In fact, you did the plastic and the styrene is soft enough you don't even have to put it into a drill. You can hand work it through.
Yeah. It had to be pretty thin material, though.
Yeah.
You can't be drilling in material that's thicker than the steps.
Yeah. Well, I have other step.
But I mean the height of each step.
Yeah.
If you're running into 1/2-inch material.
Oh no.
These are at least 1/2 inch.
Yeah, these are only probably 3/16 of a step.
Which is good for styrene or brass or balsa.
Brass or whatever. I have various different ones of different steps. So
little metal pine cones.
Yeah. But they're No, makes it very easy, and then you get a nice tight fit, a lot tighter fit than you get with a drill. Because a drill into styrene, especially most thing, the drill is usually too fast.
Yeah.
And usually end up with a hole bigger than what you needed.
Yeah, usually I'm doing with styrene.
Or if you go undersized and try to file it up to get to the right size.
When I'm drilling holes in styrene, I usually will poke a hole down and then I'll fine tune it with an X-Acto blade or something.
Yeah. But I find this so much easier because it's all your standard sizes. And I find, especially this tool, this small one, that goes from, I think that's what half inch to, it goes from 1/8 to half inch.
Nice.
So that tool I find real handy, and it makes it's so much easier. You just drill step down, step down, step down to it's all your standard sizes, so it makes it so much easier.
You don't have to swap out drill bits.
Yeah. So you just got to do your pilot hole and then start with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am with this right now, anyway.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I don't know. There's kind of an inside joke among us, particularly Jim, Randall, and I think it's a couple of you also. We often, not often, I say that's a mischaracterization. Every now and again, we get annoyed by the flat earthers. What does this have to do with scale modeling, you might ask? Absolutely nothing. But I think Randall had discovered something about that there is a proof that there is a flat Earth out there. So I think there is a flat Earth out there, and so anyway, no longer is the mystery a mystery. So the Earth is flat. It's really funny because you also post pictures too, Randall, of astronomy and the like, and you had a picture from, I'm not sure exactly where, from the moon. Oh, it was one of the Apollo missions to the moon. They took a picture of the crescent Earth, and you said, "There it is. The Earth is banana shaped."
Yeah.
So it's not a complete globe; it is a flat crescent or whatever.
Somebody else had commented that it was that I lied or something like that the Earth was flat, and I says I head back at him and saying he was a heretic. It was actually banana shaped.
Hi, Mike.
How's everybody?
Yeah, I'm going to have to mute you because there's a lot of feedback just popped in through you. So welcome. We'll get to you momentarily. So how you doing there, Phil?
Better than I was.
Yeah, have you gotten over what held you earlier? That was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, the cough decided it was going to linger and linger and linger, but it seems to be mostly gone now. Of course, when you got a racking cough, it's difficult to do any modelling.
Well, don't have a racking cough. Have a cough, a shelving cough instead of a racking cough.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I did manage to get a few bits and bobs together. I did did some work on
Teddy bear.
so nice little easy build, which I posted up. That's the
Char 1 and the little Renault.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matchbox one, Reebok.
Yeah.
Nice odd scale, 176. So to tie in with the old Hornby 00 and that. But I'll show you where I got today because I did a little bit more weathering from the what I posted yesterday. I did a little bit more weathering this morning. So that's the little Renault.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'll move up. Also did some. There we go. On the base that comes with it as well.
Yeah, looks like he's getting some hammer in there.
Unfortunately, the tracks are vinyl, and although they don't look too bad, they're a bit obviously vinyl. They're a bit sort of rubber banded
properly. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could glue them down, but to be honest, these are supposed to be flat plates, so there's supposed to be a definite angle between each of the panels, and of course, it just sort of just goes round. So, yeah, I've actually been looking into scratch building. Yeah, some tracks for it. I don't know how brave I'm going to be about that. So, watch this space for that.
Are there any third-party tracks for it?
Not for 1/76 scale. Though I don't think there's any for even 1/72 scale, to be honest. So, and 1/72, I may get it. I might get away with it, but I've looked and I can't see anywhere that does them. So, I think it's the kit tracks or scratch build.
I think I'd just take a flat file and file the ones that had a curve to them flat.
Yeah. It was vinyl though. That's the problem. Soft vinyl. You can't really file them.
So what are you thinking? Just taking some flat stock then and cutting it into?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. Maybe actually building the links up, because I've had a look at some of the the 35th scale links, and I think I might be able to do it. I may need some.
Yeah, it's not a very complex track, so it should be.
U-channel styrene strip and then flat strip, and I think there's a bit of a step in them where they interleave, but I'm sure I can do that. So that's the progression on that. So I'm just having a look for. I was also building the other tank that comes in the kit as well, which is the B1. That needed a little more attention. It's not got paint on it at the moment, but let me just see. Where's my share gone? Where am I with that screen share? Has it stopped sharing now?
No.
Got a black screen.
I'm still seeing.
What have I done?
There you are.
There you are.
I've come back. Okay, right. Yeah, I think I'll close the.
So it's not my computer. It's I think Google then, huh?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Application window. That one. Share. There we go. Can everyone see that one?
Yep.
That's the B1 that comes in the kit as well. I've done some little bit of added details. I've hollowed out the exhausts, hollowed out the little vision port. That's really all I've been working on, to be honest. Not a huge amount. Oh, I did actually follow Randall's lead, because I think Randall got one of these. I'll just wait. It doesn't say stop screen share anymore, does it? You have to close it and that's it. There we go.
Yeah, you have to close it and open another one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got one of them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, you got one of the handy films.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
The two-girl salute.
Yes. So yeah, they stung me for import duty on that.
Ouch.
Yeah. 14 quid.
Yeah.
Nearly as much as the thing cost to sell.
Which was a bit naughty, I thought. But anyway, goes together like a dream. But so now I can actually maybe start drilling out the windows in my Zvezda Star Destroyer. amongst other things.
That's the sole reason I got mine, but I've been using it on nearly everything else since, except the soda.
Well, they do call it handy. Was it a handy tool? Electric handy drill. It's very, very handy. So, yeah.
The very mention of that kid made Heath swear. Because I made mention that I had just last night ordered one, as well as a 350 CVN Enterprise, the aircraft carrier. So, Tamiya, I've been eyeing that thing for like over a year now, and now I can buy it. So I bought it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that little drill thing is handy, and I kind of like hung up my Dremel. I don't find the Dremel worth anything anymore. I think I've used it more on my house repairs than I've used it for modeling. I bought it for modeling, but Dremel doesn't make anything that's a high torque and a lower RPM. So if it's a low RPM, I'd get it, even if it's something like that. I'd go through the batteries and get at least the a pin vise will work too, just the same. But after a while, your hands get tired of doing the pin vise.
Oh yeah, that's what I use pin vise on my Star Destroyer.
Yeah, you'll find here in the Star Destroyer. Oops, sorry, Keith. That kit that you'll go through a lot fewer drill bits with the Tamiya
handy tool. Yeah,
because you're less likely to accidentally put any lateral stress on them.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I haven't ridden motorcycle in 3 years, and my gripping action is out of. I got weak. I have to get back and riding motorcycle with that clutch thing going on, and that will certainly strengthen up my wrist.
Got to get the hand-mind coordination back into gear again. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I've ridden for like nearly 20 years. I don't think I'm going to forget that. The muscle memory is definitely there. It's just the muscles are a little out of shape.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like riding a
bike. Yes, what are muscles?
It's like falling off a log.
Well, don't say that if you're riding motorcycle. You don't want to fall off the log.
Yeah.
So is that it there, Phil?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's very, very limited this time.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Jamie? Before you go on, Jamie, I apologize. Before you go on, I wanted to do, you know what, there's one thing that I haven't been doing very much of, and it's kind of a shame, is to be sharing other people's work. Because after all, it is about the community and other people's work. So we're going to do this before we get to Jamie. How about this? For a nautical build, huh?
That's nice.
I think you're getting a preview of the community cover in 2 weeks, Damon Bruce.
Submersible aircraft carrier?
Yeah, seriously. Where does this go? Here it goes.
I don't know if it can store the helicopter on board. It's got a landing deck, but I don't.
No, it just.
I think it's just got a landing deck on it.
Yeah, just don't land on those missiles.
Yeah, or when it's underwater.
Yeah.
That would hurt, yes.
There you go. That's pretty.
That is pretty.
Good paint job.
Very pristine. No barnacles or anything.
Mind you, they are designing and building one that is an aircraft carrier.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
That would pose some very interesting engineering problems, such as sealing your hatches.
Japanese did it during the Second World War.
No kidding.
Japanese had to go at it.
Yeah.
Carried what, like 2 fold-up float?
Four aircraft. Yeah.
Yeah, they were hoping to use them to attack the American West Coast.
Yeah, with 4 aircraft. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, surprising more than anything else.
It might cause a panic, but I don't think it will cause much damage.
It would have been more for the panic than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. All right.
In the event that the movie 1941 is based on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that was too. I thought it was a funny movie, but it was a bomb at the box office. But it was pretty funny. The special effects, the practical special effects, were amazing. I have to say, they were just that. When the Ferris wheel was rolling down the pier.
Yeah.
So that was just, and I think if I remember right, I think that Ferris wheel was 7 feet in diameter. It was a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
Get the scale.
Yeah, so to get the scale and the motions right. Okay, Jamie. Thanks for your patience. How you doing there, Mister?
Not too bad. I've been quite busy this week, actually. Been working on I had the fountain come, thanks to Lou. I've had it for a week now, and I've been quite busy. So I'm at this stage with it. So I've done all the masking on the windows, and all the windows are in. The windows actually fit like a dream, apart from one little slight problem after I white blocked that they were out of sync.
Oh, wow.
So I had to trim off some of this side and this side to get the sections in, which I'll show you. I'll just take this off. It's not glued together. I just put it together just to give you a demonstration what it was like. But you have two sections where the lights go. That's here. And obviously you got the one on this side. But when I actually when I dry fitted all these, they fitted perfectly. But after I light blocked them and put the windows on, they just couldn't get these pieces to fit in. So I decided, instead of cutting these because they actually slide behind each other, I decided to trim off the back end of here and just make that butt up close to that on each side. There's about 1/8 of an inch on my kit where there's an overhang where the windows won't fit. But now, as you can see, with me doing the work on this, they now fit in perfect. So I've done that bit. I've done all the masking, and I've also done the fibre optics. So the fibre optics are in, ready for the lighting kit from Ralph. So it's basically, I'm stumped now until I get the lighting kit. But as the model itself, it's a great little build. And as Lou commented, there's not enough pieces to it, unfortunately. But it's still well designed by Mobius. It goes together like a dream. And it's just a really, really good fun build. So that's what I've been working on. I've done the blades to go inside, so they're all painted and ready.
The Starship design is just starting to grow on me. I'm not particularly fond of it, but
yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. It's one of the this ship's a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. There's no way twos about it. But what Mobius have done right, which I think is really brilliant, and they should round 2 should incorporate this on the refit, I think, because it'd be like a lot easier, is these windows. These windows are absolutely brilliant design because normally when you're doing the ones on the refit and you're fitting them on, they're awkward and they're a pain in the butt. But these actually fit onto the back and are incorporated in wedging the window in place. So you can actually do all your light blocking it, and you don't have to glue these in. They're such a tight fit. You just literally squeeze them on, and they just don't move. So you'll have a pristine, clear window when you put them on, and it's just a very, very good design. So anybody that's doing this kit, you're gonna have fun doing it. And I've had it for about a week, and I've got this far doing it in a week. But I'm stoked now. Like I said, I just need the lighting kit from Ralph, because I can't really go any further. But Lou, I must give Lou a shout out. These masks are brilliant, Lou. I mean, they're absolutely spot on for this kit. So thank you very much for them. And that's where I'm up to, Jack. And that's what I've done this week.
Wow. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So you're don't take this the wrong way. It almost seems like you're scaling back a little bit.
No, I'm dabbling my toe back. Before I go back onto the Enterprise, I'm dabbling my toe back into the lighting. So I've decided to do the Franklin first. The only other thing I've been working on, I forgot to show you, is I've just been doing the, I don't know if you can see this. This is a little guide for the submarine I'm doing for a customer. So I've been working on that too. So bits and bobs, a lot of work to do on that.
Oh, okay.
But apart from that, that's where I'm up to.
All right, very cool. So, boy, I don't know, for whatever reason, it seems to be working much better. No. Here and here. This is something interesting. I got to say, this particular build, if you're not into this, I can understand that, but certainly this is just a very clean, pristine build right here. Good old R2. That's just a throne room R2, all clean. All clean. Certainly not Dagobah R2.
Yeah, no.
So this looks like a fun build. This is done by Guilo Lapiri on the Google Plus community, and I think he did a very nice job, actually. Yeah. I like the little fact that he's got the tubes down there that look pretty well done.
And it's easy to weather that thing. It's harder to make it look good, nice and clean like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
I love the color of dome he did, because a lot of people don't paint that at all.
The silver?
Yeah. Because it comes, that's the Bandai kit. It comes with a metallic silver plastic that a lot of people don't bother to paint.
There's a seam you have to fill as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pretty clean builds, and I think that's what I've been seeing a lot lately, is a lot of clean builds, not these junkyard builds or these dioramas with. And I can't say about the tanks. The tanks are always muddy, but anyway.
I think they threw mud on them at the factory just to break them in.
Right, and I haven't I haven't gotten anything else in the queue to share. So we're going to go over to Bernie. Hi, Bernie. How you doing?
Hi, Jack. Not too bad, thanks. Sorry, you went very quiet on me then.
Well, I'm just waiting for you to take over.
Oh, right. Okay. I've suddenly thought, I'm getting fed up with these electricery things, so I think I'll have a go at some modelling. So
very good.
Yeah, I in fact dragged this out, so I'm going to start that at some point. Probably light it, but I was just looking at the front of it, and I've not been able to really. I've been doing some research, and I'm not happy with this firing of a torpedo from the hole at the front. I'm not 100% certain that was the original design. I know certainly in the original Star Trek, I'm sure it was a deflector array. And I'm sure that it fired disruptors from the engine ncells. But I can't really find too much raw material to actually back that up.
I think you're right. It was disruptors from the front of the nacelles. Yeah. I think it only became a weapon whenever they filmed the sequence for the motion picture.
That's what I thought. But weren't those three in the motion picture? They were Katingas, weren't they?
Yeah, they were D7s.
Yeah,
they were Katingas and D7s, right?
Yeah, I want to model the model that they've done I think, is the one that appears in the DS9 Trials and Tribulations.
That's the one, yeah.
Because it's got this extra detailing on the top of the wing area. I don't want to sort of start sanding off detail if it is actually canon to any particular model. But then I want to get the rest of it in line with it as well. So there's so many contradicting ideas about what model had which weapons, and so basically I'm after any help I can on that. If anybody's got any ideas, where I can.
They based that the Revell based their D7 about 90% of it on the Trials and Tribulations D7.
Yeah.
I think one thing they did, which was sort of like a hint at the Katinga, where the windows in the front of the bridge dome.
Yeah.
They added them for some reason, but I don't think they actually appeared in either the original filming model or the Trials and Tribulations model.
Yeah, I think it's just it's a bitzer. It's got bits of this and bits of that in it.
It is pretty much.
Yeah, the original Klingon model was not lit at all.
No. That's right. And I noticed some of the later ones show the drive nacelles lit up. Well,
yeah,
I know
they got fancy with it come time around DS9.
Yeah.
But the original was basically a big block of wood.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure whether the engine, whether it had, and if it did, where they were impulse engines. Because
no, they there was some fanfic or speculation that there's two big vents on the top of on either side of the shuttle bay at the top.
Yeah.
That those were the impulse engines, and then the warp engines were, of course, down on the end of the wings.
Right.
But by the time the motion picture came around, they added a strip along the back of the manta, the back of the main body, where the rear torpedo bay was on either side, and made those the impulse engines.
Yeah, because the ones I was looking at, there was a choice. There were some areas on the back of the wing section,
right,
which were blue. There's another idea which had red, where basically the hangar bay is. I mean, is it a hangar bay? Is it an impulse engine pod?
Supposedly, it's a hangar. That big thing that sits on top of the main body is a hangar bay at the top, and then on either side of it were the original impulse engines, and then that was changed, and those impulse engines were moved down and made larger for the motion picture.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen a Klingon shuttle being launched.
No, but that's actually the 1,000 scale model has a decal for the floor of the shuttle bay that you can lift that top off, and you can see the little, hash marks for the parking spaces, stuff like that.
Right. So basically, what you're saying is that I could put what I like.
I would say anything before the motion picture is speculation. They really start laying things down and cementing and solidifying and making the Katinga in the motion picture canon, and then everything that they've done past the motion picture makes more sense and is more consistent.
Yeah, it's because I've been reading about the fact that this D7 was supposedly around for hundreds of years.
Well, they first time the D7 showed up was on Enterprise in Archer's era, which was kinda about 100 years too early.
Yeah. Yeah. So
supposedly in Star Trek lore, the D7 showed up about the same as a response to the Constitution class starship.
Yeah, because they were supposed to. I mean, the way I read it, it was like they were drawing an analogy between the Messerschmitt 109 and the Spitfire of the Second World War. The fact that one had one advantage, another one had a different advantage.
But one was a response to the other.
Yeah. So
that's a very good D7 there. Who did that?
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Oh, Randall. Oh, that's a nice
one. That's the same kit.
Randall, that's very good. That's some very clean windows there.
So you've gone.
The windows actually came with the kit, Lou. They're clear inserts.
Yeah, that's the Revell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I stuffed a few. What do you call it? Fiber optic in here just to get a bit of light in this part, but I didn't go the whole photon torpedo.
No. Well, you know, and in the original series, that was not a weapon. That was their deflector.
That's right. Yeah.
And it became the weapon after the motion picture.
Because what I'm thinking, Randall, is that on the front of the nacelles there at the top, drilling some holes and making like a little housing for the disruptors. But there again, having said that, I've seen a couple of videos which seem to show the disruptor beams coming from halfway up the nacelle mounting leg.
Yeah, that's sort of like the photon torpedoes on the Enterprise. You don't know exactly where they come from.
No.
Yeah.
Someplace on that ring on the bottom of the saucer, but you don't know where.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for mounted on top of the nacelle. I'm thinking about putting a little bit of tubing.
I'm going to have to get one of those D7s. That's pretty nice. I wasn't giving Revell enough credit for that.
Oh, it's a nice one. I've had
it goes together very well.
Yeah.
I
was
basing it on their Enterprise, which, you know, the horrible grid lines and everything.
The only really nasty seam is the vertical one here for the maybe a little bit on the front end of this flat section here.
Right.
I think it's got the detail on the top of the bridge, though, hasn't it? That a lot of them don't.
The worst seam is actually at the front and back of the cell pylon here.
Oh,
and that's the same for nearly every D7 kit I've ever seen.
I suppose the bigger you go, the more warpage is going to be, the more it's going to take a bit of an effort to fill it up. Yeah.
Lou, just to go back to redirect you about the Enterprise, the actual photo torpedoes are above the dome, just slightly.
Right. Well, I mean, like, watching the series, it came from different spots. Those could also be the phaser bags too.
Yeah, the phaser bags are there, but the photo torpedoes are actually fired from just above the dome.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Somewhere about here.
Yes.
Well, the prevailing theory was at the time that ring right above the dome was actually a turret that could spin and fire off in different directions.
Yeah. No.
The old AMT kit had 3 raised nubbins around the perimeter of that ring. But yeah, I've seen shots where the phasers I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it.
Yeah.
But that the phasers came out just below the bottom row of windows on the bottom of the saucer there. I mean, they've been all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying everything from the motion picture on is where they kind of went back and said, okay, from now on, this is where the photons are coming from. This is where the phasers are coming from. They really couldn't do that with the original series because it was already done.
I think my best bet is probably to go with something where there's a little bit more information available, perhaps like that.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
I found that at the bottom of a cupboard.
I didn't know that came with photon torpedoes.
I was just about to say.
Anyway. A primitive way of getting rid of the horses that were on the road.
Well, anyway, I couldn't. Again?
I thought he'd be getting rid of the little bloke with the light.
Yeah.
Flag him. Yeah. No. I couldn't not do something electrical. So I've been sort of messing around with something here, mentioning photon torpedoes and everything. I've got something here.
That's why I'm doing aircraft carrier to get away from the electronics. I was getting kind of goofy on him.
Yeah. I've been playing around with something that's got a little bit of sound with it as well.
Change that phaser light color to pink.
To pink.
Pink or blue. Those were the phaser beams.
Yeah, but this. I mean, I've never saw a Starship Enterprise look like that. I'm just playing with it at the moment because it's just something that's I'm thinking about designing a new board that's got sound. Because I say I thought I'd do something that was a little bit different, so I've just been playing around with that. I tried to put a disruptor sound on it with a green LED, just to be different, but I can't find the disruptor sound anywhere. So again, if anybody knows where I can download a Klingon disruptor sound, not a handheld weapon, the early D7. Not that there's any sound in space, but let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, there was even a big discussion when the 350 scale refit came out. Do you do the bay doors open or do the bay doors close? Because if they're open, obviously the vacuum of space will suck the air out of the ship.
Right.
And here we find that, in the TV series that there were these force fields keeping atmosphere in the ship. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's what sci-fi leaves itself to a lot of, and that's when all the nerds get all ruffled feathers and trying to discuss this stuff. And it's like, guys, this is not real. Okay,
it's very
the beauty in it. Beauty in the sci-fi is you can try to do screenshots and do screen ready stuff and whatever else, but at the same time, it's your build. You can do it any way you want. That's not the actual. Yeah, there's the actual one right there. That's the actual one right there. The original special effects. The other one that you had there, Mister, that would have been the re.
Let's
what do you
see.
call it? The re.
Yeah.
They go from everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it really matters in a big picture of everything. It's your build, unless you're maybe Simon Merckx, but that's another story.
Or
because he uses actual lasers.
Someone that might know would be Doug Dressler.
Oh yeah. Oh sure, definitely. Well, yeah, he's the nerd of all nerds when it comes to Star Trek. Is that thing, Bernie?
Lasers. I don't think anybody tops that guy with the real burning engines.
The X-wing.
Is that we gotta get moving along, fellas? We're becoming old ladies here. Is that everything there, Bernie?
Yeah, sure. Just one thing on the nautical thing.
Yep.
It's got to be something that floats. Is there any limit on how long it floats for?
Pardon?
Well, like we were just looking at that submarine just now, and you're talking about that big hole in the side of it. That's not going to be floating.
Well, somebody even said
if it's sinking, it's still valid as a nautical model.
Somebody said the spindrift or the flying sub. Somebody asked about that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's nautical. It floats. Okay. If you really want to go that direction, sure. But anything that
from the beginning of Planet of the Apes.
It's a vehicle that sits in water or something, I guess.
Do the raft from Castaway.
There you go. Hey, you know what? Now that you mention it, Gilligan's Island, the Minnow, the SS Minnow would be an interesting build.
Yeah. There has been a
couple of
kits out there.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine it was standard pleasure craft at the time.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Unmute yourself there, Mike, and we're going to have a few words with you. And let's see. Can I unmute you?
Speak up, Mike.
You got to unmute yourself. There you are.
Is it better?
Yes, but now your picture.
Well, how are you?
Is it better? Testing?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So I had a bad echo. So is everybody?
All right. Everybody, I'm fine. I can't speak for everybody.
Yes.
But they are upright and on this side of the dirt. Yes.
Once in a great while, I do wake up early enough to do this.
Sorry. I'm getting a black screen on you, Mike.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, there you are.
There he is. There he is.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
It's a wet day. Our internet's kind of slow. I don't know if anybody's seen how far I was on a 72nd scale camel, but I can jump over here for a second and show some stuff. I don't have much of a light on this desk, but here's the inside of the fuselage. I don't know if anybody's ever got to see the seat for that.
That's tiny.
That's the flooring.
A little to your left there. You're out of the center of your camera.
Oh, okay. Right
to the left. There you go.
There you go. There you go. That's the seat for it. I wish I could get a little bit better of. There it is. 1/72nd scale. Boy, that's a real challenge for photo etch.
Tiny.
All I'm seeing are your alligator clips.
Damn it. Sorry.
There we go.
All right, right here. This is the corner I'm looking for. There, right there is everything. This is as far as I got so far on this. Here's my next photo etch set that I'm going to try to attempt to cut up. There's only so much of this I'm only going to use on this one, and it's because well, the blue anodizing on this is kind of got me a little bit. Has anybody ever tried painting on that, and does it take paint very well?
Not terribly well. That's not the Edward set, is it? Or is it Airwaves? No, definitely doesn't take paint very well. You kind of need to like wash it, maybe give it a very delicate, very delicate scrubbing, because you don't want to break any of the parts. But or maybe a metal etch primer or something like that.
Oh,
straight over it.
Yeah, I'm only going to use the control panel, and that's it. Beyond, right here, this is part of the. This is actually part of the cowl that goes underneath the machine guns, and that's basically all I'm going to use out of this whole kit. I don't know if anybody's ever got to see some of this stuff here I purchased. Here's a 1/72nd scale Vicker. Anybody ever seen tiny little guns like that? Yeah, I'm going to attempt to set those in place on top of there. As you can see, it cut the top of these off.
Is this for a diorama or something?
No.
Why do you hate yourself so much to work that small?
Yeah.
Why did somebody go over Niagara Falls in
there you go. Because it's there. I'm getting ice cream just looking at your parts.
Oh, I gotta wear the cheaters. I have to. From the time I sit down here, I have to put those cheaters on. There's no way I tried it in God's creation that I could see that.
Why don't you make it a little bit harder and build it inside a bottle while you're at it?
Next time I'll buy the most hardest electronic and put it together too.
There you go. I want to see lights in it. I want to see lights in the cockpit.
Oh no, navigation lights.
There you go.
Well, you know, Mike has the same problem with size as I do. So.
Well, you just want to try to make something nice.
Hey, Mike.
Oh,
I got a hint for you.
Well, I don't need to take a ride. I just want to build a model.
If you can't ride it, it ain't.
Here's something for you. This is I think there's 50 some parts to this motor right here. Here you go. Let me go back to my screen.
I don't believe you.
There you go. 1/72 scale radial motor. There's about 50 some parts to this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff they make you do in Gitmo.
Right there. There's all of them.
Go for it. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. That's why I just kind of take my time. You get frustrated after a point in time. This seat only took
package.
This seat only took me about 6 times to try. So,
brought to you by the letter B.
One thing for sure, you learn to wipe your hands off when you touch your desk.
Yeah.
Because you don't know which little part stuck to your fingers.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to have a cold when you're doing that.
Yeah, sneeze it all away.
Actually, you're right, because I did lose a piece like that, and it's long gone. I was like, I coughed. I was like, and I coughed real loud, and there it went.
Why don't you challenge yourself? Do it in the dark.
Probably breathed it in.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably did.
He goes to the doctor for an X-ray. You have tiny pieces of brass in your lungs.
Yeah, where have you worked at?
There's better things to get high on, like the glue, not the parts.
Like Mike, I'm afraid to inform you, you've got a Messerschmitt in your lungs.
I did see my teeth together one time, though. That was kind of crazy.
There'll be some archaeologists, tens of thousands of years right now, putting together a kit with Mike's corpse.
No, they're gonna find me in a corpse like this. I have my goggles on and everything. Dagger in one hand and glue in the other. More glue. Everybody needs at least 10 bottles of glue.
What the rate?
10 different types. 10 different types. I got at least 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I got 5 at least on my workbench so far. Well,
here's my glue.
I know. Oh, that's just cancer in a jug.
Bottle.
I have 10. I've got 10 different types of glue up here.
That's cancer in a jug glue.
Yeah, well,
that says death. You open up the back of it. Look in the back. It says death.
I mainline that stuff. I put it right in the vein. Give me an IV bag of it.
He goes outside and everything's on cars and they dissolve. Wow. I know. I think the worst chemical so far I've gotten entanglement with is that acrylic nail stuff. The stuff for nails.
Yeah.
And
that acrylic
it wasn't until I dipped it in the wet stuff, and then I dipped it in the powder stuff, and then that's when everything broke loose, and I just about died. I was like, "Oh, this is hardcore, boy." And I thought, man, I was like, what's everybody talking about using this stuff? This is like death in a can here. Ugh. So is the dental acrylic less toxic then?
No, it's just as bad, if not worse. No.
And they put that in your mouth?
Yeah.
No, they make dentures out of it. I mean, they don't put it in your mouth. No, I mean they make the
alginate.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
less potent would be like if you were to get something for nails, like for women's nails. So it's pretty potent there too. But the dental acrylic stuff is like really nasty.
It's that monomer.
I was about to swear, but it's pretty nasty. The ones you would get at a beauty store for nails, that seems to be less potent, so to speak. But dental acrylic hardens really hard. It's incredibly hard, and it's certainly stronger than any styrene that I've ever seen by 10-fold, 20-fold even. So yeah, dental acrylic, I found I was so enthusiastic in using it, but I don't use it much anymore. Not because it stinks so bad. You need a well ventilated area for sure, but it just doesn't seem to be, I don't know, conducive to something. Because, if you mess up, try to file and sand that. It's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
It kind of rolls around, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has to do with the acids in your mouth. I mean, after all, that's has to put up with that. So if you do something that's like from the beauty store, it'd be better.
You can use this too. This will work. The acrylic gel, the heavy golden acrylic gel will work too.
So
it dries clear.
Is that less toxic than?
It's probably.
Oh, there's no.
It's acrylic.
Acrylic's got no smell at all.
Water based, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It takes forever to dry, though. I'm imagining.
I don't think so.
If you put it on in any thickness.
Well, it's designed to go on thick, so I think it's 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Holy smoke!
That's 2 whole days.
Yeah.
I can get a whole nother model done in that time.
Man, I grow a beard. Grow a beard.
Yeah.
You look like Rip Van Winkle. 48 hours. Wow.
Jack, it's time to take control of your show again.
Well, that's okay. I was just hanging out with the chatters over there. Dirk showed up. Ken Skiffington is there. Ken says something to the effect of he doesn't do anything for Larson anymore. He's doing builds himself. In fact, why don't I just share what he's got going on?
Stock he's working on.
Well, yeah. I think even if you're not into Star Trek, you can appreciate the kind of things that he does. And he's doing the interior of Space Dock where, this is just amazing stuff that he's doing here. All those little holes. And look, you know what, Lou? Look how straight they are.
Yeah,
and straight
how lined up they are, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, seriously now.
It's almost like he drew a line and stayed on it.
Yeah.
He works at the efficiency of an android, I swear.
Yeah.
The guy.
You can have a model done.
Yeah, well, Ken, you're over there in chat. We're talking about you. I hope you hear this. This is just amazing stuff that you're doing, and certainly getting away from a boss. Look what he can do when he's let loose. Amazing stuff. I was seeing the mock-up that he was doing. He says, and then he says he's going to light this, and I'm like, holy crap, this is going to be actually kind of cool. If it's lit up. And I just like the fact that all his little windows are lined up. That's certainly not me.
Yeah.
I'd like to, he doesn't do videos and how he does stuff. Maybe that's a good thing.
That's because he'd have to give away his secrets that way.
Oh, well, I don't think there's much.
Everybody would see all the elves that come in the night. Work.
I don't make videos because everything I do is a fluke. So I can't explain it.
Yeah, seriously. And also, I was saying earlier that some of the builds have been pristine. This build certainly hasn't been pristine, but equally as amazing and beautiful to look at as well. A lot of people have some modelers have some things against doing models this way, but I think this is actually harder to do than something pristine on so many levels.
Oh, that realistic rust effect is hard to do.
Yeah, and to make it look real too at the same time.
And in scale.
Yeah, hand and skill. Yeah. So this is Joe Bertucci. Joe at the Google Plus. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like the fact that he used also some of this floral moss to create a setting in this photograph. So, yeah. I don't know what to think of this. This has just been this is so amazing. What I really like about how this thing is layered, because Rust does kind of like kind of happen in layers, not just a pitting,
right?
But something like this that's on the hood here, that metal rusts in layers, I guess. Maybe the metal was layered when it was forged, but certainly it lends itself to that. Got some of the paint here still hanging on the door. Yeah, this is harder. This is actually much harder to do than something that's completely clean and pristine. So thanks, Joe, for sharing that on the Google Plus community. So let's move on to one of our final our partners and suspects of killing time here, the disembodied modeler. How you doing, Wayne?
Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I've been a bit slow on the modelling front because I've just been a bit tied up at work, but my purchasing hasn't been diminished. So I've got three of that. I've got three of them books.
Mm.
So
Oh.
it's like a video model making for armor. I've got the camouflage book, weathering techniques, and the finishing off final touches.
Is that by AK Active, or this book's from AK Active?
No, Ammo MiG.
MiG.
Yeah. It's really nicely detailed in every page. It's got got all the camo schemes, everything you need to know. And then books. I would have joined earlier, but my computer was updating. And I got a package from Spain, which I'm going to open now. I think if it's what I ordered, it's from the Ammo MiG factory itself. Yeah, you got all this, all the new washes and everything. I've got the new Starship wash as well for some of my Gundam builds. Black wash, neutral wash, some thinners. Oh, I got a few, and I got a free gift as well, which is nice of them. Talking of Gundams, I did actually buy another Gundam kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like potato chips. Once you start them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mark make any tanks ever since that.
No.
He did the one, and
that's it. Yeah.
He did the one and got PTSD.
Yeah. I seem to cause that on people. Yeah. I just want to say I got one of the books from a online store called Panzer Rex. They do all sorts of armor reference books, but they also do other types of reference book material type things. But they're also a good delivery. I got it within 3 days of ordering. Ordered it on Tuesday. It was here by Friday, so that's a good shop if you need it for military modelers. But I say I've been plodding on. I've got more of this missile launcher done as well. So I've got the turntable done. Still got to build all the rocket pods as well.
Why am I looking at a blank screen and nobody else is?
Yeah, it's frozen on the Gundam from my.
Is it?
Yeah.
Me too.
So I press
Take,
F5.
take your computer. Your Etch a Sketch needs shaking. Oh, you killed him.
Oh.
Just start moving fast.
Oh, dear.
I got a question.
Well,
on that. Very good.
All right. He's back. There he is.
I think it's the World of Warships is updating in the background. That's probably why. So, yeah, that's one of the missile launches I've got built. I've got to do 4 of them, and it's got about 20 parts per. So I've got all the sides on. I've got all the rear covers on. But now I've got to put all the little fiddly bits on.
Mm.
So
is that like Norway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fiddly bits around the edges. Yeah.
Fiddly bits in the fjords.
yeah, hopefully I should be getting it done soon. Well, my hours have cut down at work now, so yeah. Now the kids have gone back to school, but I've been doing like 14-hour days and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't been. That's my excuse for not making any models at the minute.
That'd do it.
Yeah, that's about it. Unfortunately. Me.
Yeah. I guess we're not long in the tooth, but boy, we're really killing time here. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, all right. Over here, I was just saying that rusty bucket there that we saw earlier. Here's something that will be not so rusty, but at least equally as weathered and matte colored, or matte sheen.
Interesting tires.
Yeah.
Oh
So.
my goodness.
This is, of course, on the Facebook community. Facebook community is just a kaleidoscope, literally, of cars and race cars, pristine and weathered and used like this is. So this is absolutely beautiful.
That's a kit bash. It's a 55 Chevy front end and looks like a 65 trailer or a bed for that, truck bed for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like. That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, this is really cool. Really cool.
That is, I like that.
Yeah. And also, does this come up? Yeah, I think it is. We were talking about the pilot earlier. This is Lou's pilot. Little happy face there. Yeah, that character was always such joyful to be looking at. But your paint is why I'm bringing this up. Your paint there, Lou, amazing stuff. The speckles, the scaling, malting, whatever you want to call it, good stuff. Your skills have improved over the past couple of years. So.
I like to think it hasn't been for naught.
Oh yeah. Certainly my painting skills haven't really improved. My modeling skills haven't really improved. Where am I? Here I am. What am I doing? I'm going to finish this up. This is the Hornet. And now I know why they used artwork instead of a finished build for their artwork on the box, because you can't there's no way you can make this kit look like a painting. No way.
I've been trying for years.
Always get suspicious when you see artwork on a box.
Yeah. You live and you learn, Lou. So here is the, so far, I've lost this, this elevator I have. It just doesn't want to attach itself. This elevator on this side only has this, where is it? Only has this. I don't know where the rest of it is. But the deck is not attached. Horrible fit. There's a lot of glue marks on here, but no fingerprints, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
Because this thing lends you to do that. And here's the command tower. It looks okay from the side, but once you sit head on, you can see what the problem is. It's quite a bit. It was actually an effort. It's usually wonkier than this. It was actually an effort to straighten that out.
Wow.
But it's pretty wonky. If you're from the side, it looks great.
From the front, it looks drunk.
It's leaning.
Yeah, leaning there. Yeah, and of course the command tower goes onto the flight deck like so.
Is the mast bent? Is the mast bent?
Well, maybe that's my fault, but because I was carving off of the flash. There's so much flash on this. I think you can probably build another model.
Try putting a bit of heat to it and try to straighten it out.
Nah. I'm not putting that kind of effort into it. In fact, I'm debating whether or not to paint it. Do I want to really waste paint on this? No, I don't know. I don't think.
And we saw what happened when he tried to use heat on his Enterprise.
You know, that's maybe it does deserve some heat. But no, I'm not going to waste any paint on this. I have another kit just like it if anybody wants it. All you got to, if you want it, I'll give it to you. Just pay for postage and I'll give it to you.
Self-addressed stamp envelope.
Exactly.
Self-addressed stamp.
Exactly. So that goes out to anybody who's watching. If you want this kit, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. If you want to pay postage, that's all I request and require for you to possess this flash-ridden, wonderfully fitting kit. If you are a miracle worker, I'd like to see you do it. And this is part of this kit was the final straw in motivating me buying the Tamiya 350 CVN Enterprise. Besides, I was going to build all the Enterprises anyway, the 350s anyway. Like I'm planning on even doing a 350 Excelsior class at some point. Of course, that's going to be a scratch build because that's going to be like 48 inches, something ridiculously long. Going to be a big model, big scratch build. But anyway, that's been from the very get-go from 4 years ago. I've been wanting to build all the Enterprises. And the only one that I have that was successful, and it's not lit, is this. And this didn't even appear in anything. This isn't even real. This is even the unreal of the unreal. So,
the NX-01.
This was on my desk at work for a long time, and nobody made a comment. And so what I did was when I got that Paul off of eBay, I did build this, and now this is set on my desk, this Star Wars X-Wing. It seems to attract more attention than Star Trek does. And I also got the same thing, but in pose ship in black, and it makes
a lovely sound.
If you were 5, your parents would hate you in about 5 minutes.
It's not very loud. It's not very loud.
You guys did the other night.
Let's have a fight.
Oh no!
I don't have the sound one. Mine doesn't make sound.
You got Poe's X-Wing too. This is actually fun. This was fun. It took 5 minutes to put together. It's a snap kit. You don't need to paint it. It's a toy. It's not. To me, it's not even really a model, a serious model. It's a toy that maybe a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old would play with.
It's a toy that requires some assembly.
Yes, exactly. And the batteries in it you can change too, as it turns out. I haven't opened it up yet to see what kind of batteries it takes, but when I get to that point, I'll get to that point. But this was just a lot of fun to have. This was actually very therapeutic because I've been having so many problems with my model, with the model building, only because I want to get past this Millennium Falcon. It's been since July. Since July. I want to put it to bed. And what I want to do next is a scratch build, start on a scratch build. But I'm going to be building a new workbench, an L shape. There's the window right there, and the L shape would fit in that corner in there somewhere where that money tree is. and the table will go all the way across this wall, behind the screen here, into the corner, and then of course the L shape would be from the corner to the door a little bit.
Nice.
And this here, I'm going to turn into, this has my shelves with the standards and the brackets and the like. This side of the room, instead of being the hobby side, is going to be my display side. So I'm going to be broadcasting from across the room, and then my builds are going to be behind me. And that I think that would be better use of my floor space here, because I'm just not utilizing this little 9x10 room very well. And that's all. I wish I could get a bigger room. I think you can't add on to this, not like Lou can. But that's really, really it. I am working to take the 1,000 scale Enterprise and light it, and I am having some headway on it, but I have to do something different because I was just getting kind of too immersed in it, and I don't know, obsessive even. And with, of course, the new layout, I will have my 3D printer, and I am going to print my 350 scale Daedalus that I created myself on a 3D software. And Jim is going to help me do the splicing and all that stuff to get it ready for my 3D printer. And I decided to get the Prusa I2. I think it's the second one, not the current one.
You're getting the version 2, not the version 3.
Yeah, because the version 3 would be something I would do, but I think for someone who doesn't know 3D printing, I think the 2 would be more than enough to learn from. And at some point, I can upgrade it. That's what's so great about the Prusa printers. You can upgrade it to the point where the i2 can actually become like an i3 in some ways. And also the i2 can also be, you can get an adapter kit that can take 4 colors of spline, filament. That you can do prints in multicolors too. So you can upgrade the i2. So I figured, that's fine. I think that'll be a good way to go and learn off of it, and because it's also cheaper assembled. It's $1,000 assembled for the i3. It's $600 for the i2. Because I want to put the effort into buying the filament and not so much. And I was told, don't even bother buying it as a kit. Buy it assembled. For the first one, for your first 3D printer, you want to do that. So I'm working on getting that, and I'm expecting it's definitely going to be after Wonderfest, probably during the summer. I would be getting that and working through those things. So by the fall, I expect to have the Daedalus printed. And as I said, I'm going to use Lou as a guinea pig and ask him to spit on it and make it look like something. So that's my plan. And I see without this albatross around my neck, I am actually thinking of things and actually achieving them. So the workbench will be later in the spring whenever the weather improves enough to be cutting wood outside, because I can't cut in the basement. I certainly can't cut it in this room. The 4x8 sheets of plywood up here would be like the entire room.
It's a little bit tough to get up and down the steps.
Hey, that too, and so that's everything's going to be transitioning here for me. And I was even thinking about the screen behind me. I still have the original box and the styrofoam and all this stuff, and I will be putting that up for sale too. And you see, that's all it's been doing. I don't abuse it. It comes with a remote, and I'll probably be selling it for cheap at some point. So if you want an actual television, this is a TV. It can be a TV, but it's also a computer monitor. But it doesn't have any speakers. I don't think it has speakers to it. I think you have to attach speakers to it. So maybe it's more of a computer monitor. So I'll be, selling that too, and other things to make room for stuff. But yeah, that's really about me as of right now. I am thinking of a lot of things, and I am achieving a lot of things and getting things. I'm getting some more. I got a lot of electronic stuff just recently, like capacitors and resistors and IC chips and all kinds of stuff that would be expanding into, being able to put together something, maybe even a video of my thinking of electronics, something that you can do yourself, not as sophisticated as Bernie would do, but certainly something like you would have bought in the day from Radio Shack, these kits that you put together, these components, and do it yourself. But what Bernie's doing is much more sophisticated. What Ralph is doing is much more sophisticated. And I dare not getting into stuff like that, because that would make me really crazier than I usually am. Yeah, that's about it. I don't have really much else to share other than I've been feeling better. The overtime is starting to go away, and by May, I'm told it's going to be gone. So I'll be doing regular work weeks and getting more rest and being more energized to do builds. So tomorrow we have the Sunday Hangout. As I mentioned at the head of the show, that we're going to talk real space. We're going to talk some history, because Jim will be with us, and I'm sure he knows something about the history of things. And I know something. I'm not quite old enough, but I'm almost there. I do remember the space shots, and as a 4 or 5 year old, as to because I see the lunar landings, and I remember those lunar landings from the eyes of a 4 or 5 year old. And that, I think, is the best part about real space, is to spark the imagination, as well as knowing that anything is possible. And I think, though, in this hobby, if you want to grow in it, that's my goal, to grow in it, not be proficient in one thing like paint and cars or starships or anything. I just want to know everything. I want to consume everything there is about the hobby. And so that's what I think about real space, is that, we need to, I think as a species, I think we need to, work on that, as well as other things about us. But anyway, we'll be talking about real space tomorrow on the Sunday Hangout. And in 2 weeks, we'll have, of course, another Across the Pond. And you'll get to see us again and see what's up with this lifestyle of sniffing glue and making toys, dust collectors. And I'm really looking forward to going to Wonderfest, which is, of course, not even on a broadcast weekend. So I won't even have to cancel any of the shows. So we'll go from 1 week to another 2 weeks on that. And really looking forward to that, Lou, too, and meeting you, because I've already had breakfast with Christina, and I expect to share a pint with you, a beer with you. And anybody else that's watching in a community going to Wonderfest, I would love to be able to meet you all and at least shake hands and know these faces and builds and faces, so to speak. That's been my New Year's resolution, is to put people together with their work and know more about them, because I'm interested in you. So this wraps it up. We've been on for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. I really appreciate everyone for spending the time. I'd like to thank everybody over at the live chat. They weren't very talkative today. Dirk showed up. Yeah, they talked about Lost in Space and other stuff, but and Dirk is not feeling well. His knee's out of shape. He got Ken Skippington was there, and as well as Phil stopped and said hello. Ken from Ken's Model Shop, and even Bob even said hello there as well. So it wasn't very active on the live chat today. I missed George, basically. And also, I hope he's doing well, too. I'd like to thank you all that all showed up here. I'd like to thank Bernie. Thank you, Bernie. And Bob, thank you for stopping by as well. And I'm glad you're back in the saddle, and hope things work out better for you and your family. And also, Jim, Awesome. I really like what they're doing there with that a little motor that you got going on. And Jamie, thank you for stopping by as well. And Lou as well. Thank you for sharing your pilot. And also, Mike, without your feedback, I wouldn't be able to talk. Thank you for stopping by there, Mike. And also, Phil, thank you for stopping by. Glad you're feeling better. And also, Randall, hey, you weren't last this time.
Yay!
And everybody in the communities, Facebook and Google Plus, thank you for building and posting and participating. It's what it's about. And see you in 2 weeks and see you tomorrow. Happy modeling, everyone.
Have a good day.
Yeah.